like a Philistine, me get high like a Philistine,
gbé kínní ẹ̀ wá bò. Ẹ̀gbọ́n bá parí school. Every song. But how much of the way you know? Okay, you're not taking.
If you can get your friends, it would be good so that we can start. Morning, everyone. I hope you're all well. Yeah, I think now with 64 people, we can start as the others come in, okay? Kindly note that the topic is product description. It's the same as it was last week. The first week is when we did product design and we finished that. I think there's just an error in the name and the invite. So note it is product description. So I will continue from where we were last time. Let me share my screen. A minute. Can anyone remind us what we were discussing last week? Anyone just unmute yourself and let us know what we were doing last week so that we can proceed.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Who is speaking?
Obidru Priska.
Okay, Priska.
All right, so last week we talked about product description, and then we talked about the features, the benefits, and specifications. Then we talked about product description being a written copy that provides essential information about a product being sold. Then you also talked about the purpose of product description, saying it gives customers direction on what they are purchasing, give them details of what they are buying, and then makes the customer focus on what's ideal for them.
Okay, good work.
Then we also talked about how to then entice customers to benefits, talked about how to focus on your target market, and we talked about the Yaya phrases in product description.
Okay, so that is good. Now, after the Yaya, we now will go to, after the Yaya statements, now we will go to justifying the using of superlatives. So superlatives are, how do I put them? When you say something is the best or it is better, that is a superlative. Like for example, you know how people advertise like, what is it? The best car in the market, the best phone in the market, the best camera in the world. Yes? All those are superlatives. Superlatives sound insincere in product description, and the reason why they sound insincere is because when you just say, my car is the best in the market, everyone else will use that because everyone thinks that their car is the best. Yes, just as I said with the Yaya statements. Now, in superlatives, you need to show what I said. You need to provide proof, okay? Now, for example, Amazon explains why the Kindle Paperwhite is the world's thinnest and lightest e-reader, okay? The word signature gives the reader the impression that this is something special. Amazon goes on to quote that the density of the paper, to quote the pixel density of 300 ppi, and how the reader can glare-free display twice the amount of storage as previous generations. So now when you're speaking of something, let's say, let's look at a phone, yes? Let's say, why would you buy, when you're buying a phone, what features do you look for? You look for the pixel, for the camera. Okay, yes, speak, Nazif.
Sorry, ma'am. That was a mistake, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, so when you're buying a phone, even if it was a mistake, it is an opportunity for you to speak. When you buy a phone, what do you look at? Nazif?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you look at when you're buying a phone?
I look at the storage, ma'am, the camera pixel, ma'am, and also how fast it operates.
So you look at
the camera.
How fast it operates means what?
Yeah. Yes. I compare between, like, for iPhone, it's kind of faster. The processing unit for iPhone is kind of faster than the Android. Although I can't say all Android, but most Android.
Okay. We will have Miriam and then Charlene. Miriam, what do you look for when you're looking for a phone?
Good morning.
Morning.
I first of all look at the brand.
Yes.
And the processor it's using.
Yes.
The type of operating system it runs on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Charlene?
Morning.
Morning.
I would look at its camera.
Yes.
The brand of the phone. How fast it can charge and have, yeah, yes, that's it.
Okay, Mibola.
Nima. So
Yes,
I'll
what
look
do you
at
look
the
for?
camera. I'll look at the battery. How
Okay.
strong the battery is. Then the memory, the phone memory.
Okay. Aziz.
Good morning, ma.
Morning.
I'll check the brand, check the camera, the battery, how strong the battery. Oh, sorry, the camera. How strong the battery is, and then how fast, I mean, the network, how can it fast more, and the memory, yes, the memory, the gig, the RAM, and the also. So that's it, ma.
Good. Now, all of you have mentioned specific things. Now, in these specific things, despite saying that you're looking for the camera, what you did not mention is that you look for the pixels. Okay? When you say that you're looking at the storage, you look for the ROM, which is the random. You look for the RAM, you look for the RAM and you look for the ROM. So the RAM is the random access memory, yeah? And the ROM is the one that is now the storage of, RAM is the one that is used for processing. ROM is now the one that you will use now for storing your photos, for storing your documents, blah, 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 okay? If you are going to use your phone for playing games, then you will also require to have a RAM, yeah? Sustainable RAM. Now, there's also the other element that the RAM and the ROM must be, there's a way that you calculate for your phone to make sure that your phone is fast enough, the ROM and the RAM must be able to complement one another, yeah? If you have too much ROM and a very small RAM, then your phone is going to have issues where it's going to start having slugging, okay? If your RAM is too high and your ROM is low, then there's going to be also another problem, yeah? When you're looking at the camera, it has to be, okay, how many cameras do you want? Maybe I want 4 or 5 cameras. How many pixels? How many megapixels are they? Because the megapixels are the ones that will decide, sorry, excuse me, the quality of the photos that you will get. Then there's the battery. How big is your battery? How many watts is it? Yeah. How long will it take to charge? How long will it stay? Yes. So for you to say that my phone, the phone that I am taking into the market is the best phone, yes, it must be able to have these specifics, because by saying my phone is the best, everyone will just ignore it. Just as I said, because now it becomes a yaya statement. But now when you justify it, yeah, and say my phone is this, it has this, this fast charge, the battery stays for more than 72 hours without charging, and even that one you need to be specific, yeah, because if your phone, you're doing major activities on your phone, it's those 72 hours, it's not going to get to those 72 hours you get. So they usually put it that it can handle 5,000 calls, 5,000 minutes of calls, okay? Or 2,000 minutes of calls, or 200 minutes of calls. That is what it means to justify your superlatives, okay? So let's say you're buying a handbag, or let's say, let me be gender neutral, a luggage bag. You want a luggage bag. They'll tell you this is the best bag, yeah? That's a superlative. So now they need to justify why it's the best bag. If they have to say about the dimensions, they have to speak about whether it's waterproof. All these things, the superlatives and the are very connected. So the way to be able to deal with this is to use specifics. Yeah, because if you don't use specifics, the customers will think it's just a marketing gimmick and they will ignore you. So, and you know that once a customer makes an image, or, you know, once they look at you and for the first time, impression matters. The first impression matters. If in the first impression, they look at you as sincere, the chances of them ever listening to you again are very low. Okay. So now we go to the other one. Now we need to appeal to the reader's imagination. So scientific research has proven that if people hold a product in their hands, their desire to own it increases. Yes. Now, in the current dispensation where we have e-commerce stores, yeah, you're selling things online, so your web visitors cannot hold the products. Okay. So how do you deal with this case? Anyone? You know, if you go to the supermarket, you can go and touch the dress, or you can touch the, the shoe, you can touch the pen and everything else, and you will know that, okay, you can feel the quality. Now you're buying things online. How will you verify? Yes, Miriam?
Let's say, for instance, a dress, you can
Yes.
post it while someone is wearing it. For the shoes, the same case. Maybe if it's a bracelet, you can wear it on your hand and then you post that picture.
Okay, that is one way of doing it. But then let me ask you, how about Jennifer? Give me a minute. How about, what is it called? How about how the material feels? How do you address that thing? How do you address that item, that feeling? Jennifer, tell us. How do you address the feeling of the dress, of you fine, you've seen someone wearing it? How do you know that's the material you want?
Okay, I would say if I want to get something online, for me to confirm that it's good, I'll check the reviews of people that probably have gotten it before.
Okay. Adeola?
Yes, that was the exactly what I wanted to say, the review and the rating of the products online.
Okay, there's Yemi and then there's also Miriam. Yemi, speak, and then Miriam will follow.
Okay, ma, good morning. In case of
Morning.
selling fabric, maybe fabric or clothes online, like I do sell underwear online. Whenever I want to post and make a product description, I will tell them the name of the material. Maybe it is cotton, maybe it's polyester, maybe it's silk. So they can feel, they will know the kind of the texture. And I will tell them maybe it can size from size 8 to 10 or the available sizes, so that they will know what exactly they want to get.
Okay. There's someone else I've forgotten. Please just unmute yourself because I can't see your name and I don't want to reduce the screen.
Yes, we check the description because under the description, they are going to write the product of the item, the material, maybe it is fiber. Then I will check customer review on that product as well.
Okay. Now, is there someone else before I continue and explain? Okay. So when I say appeal to the reader's imagination, the first thing, now let me use something like a pan. Okay, a pan, just a cooking pan. You're telling these people that your pan is durable. Yes. So what do? You take the pan, and in their imagination, what you can be able to do, because you want to appeal to their imagination, you want to show these people that this thing can actually solve their problem. So people are buying a pan because they want to cook. Some people, at times, they, as mothers, we have a tendency, if the baby misbehaves and you're around there, I just hit you with a pan. Yes. Or even with a cooking stick. Yes. So you don't want cooking sticks that you're going to use and then you hit your child with them and then it breaks. Yes, that's not durable, because those are some of the purposes of using a cooking stick. You see the wooden ones. I know most of you or some of you have, have annoyed their mothers and have been hit with a cooking stick. Yes. So the cooking stick, yes, Yemi? Yes, Yemi? Okay, let me proceed then. Now, when it comes to appealing to the imagination, you see, like, for example, nowadays even when it's a university and they're inviting you into a university, what do they usually do? They use a 3D model where they take you into the university, you get to see the university, you get to see the rooms, you get to see where the students are. They want you to have that experience. So appealing to the reader's imagination is to help them have that experience without having bought the product, so that it can help them change their perception and influence them into buying that product. So for example, when it comes to something like lipstick, you can have someone wearing lipstick, and then you can use an image of someone wearing lipstick or eyeshadow or anything else, any form of makeup, and then you show them that they have been rained on, their hair is all over them, their clothes are all wet, but their makeup has remained intact. Yes, because one major problem of when it rains is people's makeup get smudged. Yes, then there's the other thing. For example, you can show, maybe if you're selling nail polish, you can show a lady scrubbing dishes and everything else, and then after that, you show her nails again. The nail polish is still there. Yes? If it's washing powder, maybe it's for washing clothes. Yes? You show them washing clothes and everything else, and then at the end of the day, you see the hand, you show the hands. The hands of the person, they're smooth, they don't have cracks, they don't have any issues. That is appealing to the reader's imagination. Secondly, even having someone wear the dress and, for example, if it's a dinner dress, have someone wear the dress at a dinner, at an actual dinner, and then have people looking, staring at her, in awe. Oh, this dress is so beautiful. She looks so beautiful, because that's how someone wants to feel. Again, I told you, you need to put yourself into the place of the consumer. If I'm going to buy a dinner dress, I want to buy a spectacular dinner dress that when I walk into this ballroom, everyone is just staring at me. Yes, that may not be reality, but it's the imagination. Yes, you just have to appeal to people's imagination. And then if it's about a phone, you want to show someone working so hard and then accidentally their phone breaks, and all they have to do is just pick it up, dust it off, and continue using it. So that shows a very durable, a durable phone. If it has to be, what is it? Like you said, for Samsung, I think it's Samsung, Tecno, and I think Infinix. When they take photos, you see how they usually use in their commercials. Yes, they put some event is happening, and then they're able to zoom in and they're able to take a picture to match precision. Has anyone seen any of those adverts, or should I show you? Let me show you.
Show us.
Show us, ma.
No problem. So let me put it, maximize it, share my screen. You can see my, I hope you can see my screen. What can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see it?
A lady
A
holding
girl holding a
phone.
phone.
Yeah, you see YouTube.
Yes, the YouTube video. Lady
Okay.
holding the phone.
Yes. So I want you to watch this and see how they have, you know, they have into your imagination. You seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you've seen how they have appealed. So let me get you another ad. There's another ad that I know of. Let me see. Samsung mainly uses that, and then Coca-Cola, even Coca-Cola uses that. So now this is about Christmas, okay? So let me start with this one. I think this one is more, makes more sense. Now let's use this one. Okay, so we can watch as many as as possible, but I think you've gotten the picture, yes? Have you?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
ma.
ma'am.
You're saying yes, ma, but what have you understood?
Sorry, can I talk, ma?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ma?
Yes, go
Well,
ahead.
it's just taking us through the experience of how it's taking us through the experience of how the product we feel while we are using it. How the product, what exactly it is, why using it.
And what problem it solves.
It solves the problem of doubting or imagine maybe it is not what you want, or maybe it will not work for what you want, ma. Like
Okay.
it brings the exact picture of what the product is looking like, and it clear your doubt or your imagination against their thoughts.
Okay, that's
All
good.
right, ma.
Miriam? Miriam had seen your hand up.
Yes, yes, ma. The videos, they are so immersive in such a way that I can relate, because the phone and the person using it, they are in this real world, and I can see them shooting, like for instance, the Samsung phone, I can see them shooting live scenes, and then the pictures are so clear.
And everyone wanting them.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the most important part also, the part where everyone wanted them to send, everyone wanted her to send them those photos. Yeah. Anything else before I proceed? Loyal?
And also from the advert of the Coca-Cola, we see that it solved the problem of okay, the lady was at first feeling so weak, and maybe her eyes were turning, but after she took the Coca-Cola, it works magic. Immediately she regained her strength. She could continue her activities for the day. So we could turn to Coca-Cola because of that advert. It's telling us that it can solve the problem of feeling weak and tired. Immediately it can give you enough sugar to boost your activity.
Yes. Okay. Now we go to the next one. Cut through the rational barriers with mini stories. This includes mini stories in your product descriptions, lowers rational barriers against persuasion techniques. In other words, we forget we are being sold to. Okay, like in the case of how you have seen for, what is it called, for Emirates. Yeah, most of you, it gets to a point where you forget that Emirates is selling to you. Yeah, because they've given you such, first of all, they start in a different plane. She was sleeping, she was trying to go look for a bathroom to take a shower and everything else, and it did not focus on Emirates in the beginning, but towards the end, now it showed us, it's called comparison marketing technique. So you compare where you are and where you would like to be, So for her nightmare was being in a different airline where she would not have, all those privileges of taking a bath, of being at the lounge, blah, 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 blah. And then people were laughing at her. Just how, that scary feeling of when you have a nightmare, okay? So the mini stories they're supposed to, first of all, eliminate the rational barriers. Now, the rational barriers, what are the rational barriers? The rational barriers are, first of all, I need to buy this product based on my budget. I have to buy this brand, I have to buy this quantity. I have to buy this. So by giving you a mini story, I am trying to put your guard down. So for example, if you had a budget of $2,000, to buy a ticket, I start telling you so many stories, at the end of it, you forget that you had a budget of $2,000 and you are even willing to spend $2,500 because of what I have shown you, or because of the things that I have told you, because that thing, it has made you lower your guard. Yeah. Then there's also the other thing where you go and people are maybe selling books. Yeah. There are so many books. When you look at it's basically used at the back of books. You see, when you go to a book and then at the back it's written something. It tells you a small something small about the story or what is in the book. So if you read like 2 or 3 of them, you end up becoming a bit confused because you don't know which one you want to buy. And at times you end up buying all of them, even if you had just intended to buy one. Yeah. Then there's also the element of brand. You are determined that you must buy Blueband because Blueband is the best brand. Now I come in, I must confuse you to make sure that you forget about Blueband and you start opening, your mind to other opportunities. Like, for example, wine cellars in the UK-based lightweights often include short stories about winemakers. And this is also used in, what is it called? There's some adverts where they start, but mainly it's, what is it called? It's mainly alcohol that has this kind of adverts, because, for example, if they're showing you how wine is made, they start by showing you how, the grapes are picked, how they are stored, after how many years, how it's opened up, how it's blended, what they do with it. They show you the farms, and at the end of the day, then they show you the product. Okay, so now, as they were taking you through all this whole process, they have reduced your guard. They brought your guard down. Because now you have started to trust this product because you're seeing that the process, the process of making this product is actually, it's something that you would want to know about all the other products that you've been using, but you never really knew that you needed to know how things are made. But because this one has opened your head into it, you're like, okay, it would be good to know how the products I'm using are made. Yeah. When it comes to using your product description to tell a story about your product, ask yourself, who is making the product? What inspired who inspired the creation of the product? Meaning, for example, if it's a car, what was the inspiration behind the first manufacture, the first design, the first manufacturing of the car, or even the bulb? Yeah, what inspired it? Was it because of war? Was it because maybe healthcare people were not able to, be able to see properly when they were doing operations? Yeah. What is it called? They always say what is the mother of innovation? Yeah. Who knows what the mother of innovation is? Curiosity is the mother of innovation. Yes, curiosity is the mother of innovation. So you have to first of all ask yourself, what inspired the creation of the product? What obstacles did you need to overcome to develop the product? Like, all of us know that when it comes to the development of the bulb, he tried multiple times, not even multiple times. He tried 99 times, and then the 100th time, that's when the bulb was successful. How was the product tested? Yes, for example, if it's a product that has to do with, that requires testing, let's say, for example, baby products, yeah, or skincare products. Where would you want your skincare products to be tested on? Would you want your skincare products to be tested on animals? Is that ethical? Would you want your skincare products to be taken to labs and, and they go through them, do numerous research to ensure that these products cannot be able to affect the epidermis of your skin? Yes? Or maybe they create, they create an epidermis that they can use to be able to test it and see how it reacts. All these things. Most people, the consumer may not think they need to know them, but if you bring them and show them to them, then they realize, I need to know. And then now you open their minds into a new world of possibility, of curiosity. Yeah. So now they would want to know, now, how is my phone made? Yeah. What inspired the creation of the phone? What obstacles have people undergone in creating the phone? Yeah. How are phone tested? Yeah. Or are we just sold things that are not tested? Then now you put them into a state where now, because of that curiosity, they start to question their consumer rights. Yes. And in all those things, you're able to capitalize on those elements. So you make sure that you inform, educate the consumers so that the consumers can choose your product. Yeah. So now there's also the seduction with sensory words. Okay. Restaurants have been known for a long time to use sensory words to increase sales because they engage the brain processing power. There are good product description example from chocolate maker Green and Blacks, which is this one. So first of all, the drink pairings, there's alcoholic, so there's whiskey and singleton. If you want to use it for non-alcoholic drinks, you can use Bergelin tea. Now, then the green and black sensory adjectives don't just refer to the taste, but also to the sound and touch. For example, when, what is it called? So when I mean sensory words, I mean your senses, okay? And when I mean to seduce, I don't mean the other seduction aspect that we are talking about. This is to be able to activate. When I say seduce, it's to activate your sensory, your sensory, what is it called? Your senses. I hope you're getting me because you guys have become so quiet. I'm getting concerned. Are we on the same page?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So for
ma'am.
yes, okay. So when I say seduce, I am saying it's to activate. Okay. When it comes to sensory words, you are looking at your senses. How many senses do we have as human beings? We have the hearing, we have the seeing, we have the tasting. Yes, we have the touch, we have the hearing. All these things are our senses. So if you're going to use words, you look for words that attack the senses. So for example, crunch, crunchy. Crunchy has to do with the taste, your taste buds, soft, crunchy and soft. So when you put it into your mouth, you can hear that it's crunchy and soft. When you take it onto your tongue, you can feel the velvety, smooth, feeling. Yeah. Like for chocolate, for example, when you take chocolate, it needs to melt in your mouth. Yes. However hard it is, once you put it into your mouth, it's supposed to melt into your mouth. And when it melts into your mouth, it should have that velvety taste. It should be soft as velvet, slowly, that, it's not that it melts and then you just swallow it. That means it's very thin. It's something that is thick. It's something that is supposed to stay in your tongue for a long time as you gradually consume it. Okay, that is what I mean. So when it comes to using sensory words, so you can use words that, you know, affect the taste, the ones that affect the, you know, the hearing. For example, if you're selling, what are these things called? The ones that we listen to music, are they what?
Speakers, Bluetooth speakers.
Not the Bluetooth ones, the ones that we put on the head.
Yeah.
Earphones, yes, the earphones. So the earphones, what kind of sound do you want to hear? Yeah, you want to hear the bass. You want to hear a soft, strong, heavy bass. Yeah, so that is attacking your ears. Yeah, so the senses of hearing, the sense of hearing. Now, when it comes to seeing, yes, you want something that is bright. Yeah, because our eyes are attracted to something that is bright, something that is beautiful. Yes. When it comes to smell, if it's soap, it needs to have a pleasant smell. Yeah. When you write a rosy smell, yeah, rosy smell is a sensory word. Yeah. A beautiful smell. Yeah. An oceanic smell. Yeah. Something that smells like the ocean, something that smells like cocoa butter, something that smells like roses. Yeah. All those things are sensory. Yes. So, and then now we have to tempt with social proof. This is where the reviews come in. Yes. Remember, most of you said that when you go to buy things, you look for the reviews because you want to see what other people have said about the product. Yes. Because you assume that there's the assumption that if other people have used the product and are satisfied with the product, you are bound to feel satisfied with the product. Now, this is, since we are talking in a business perspective, we use reviews. Reviews can be used in different ways. You see, as an organization, if I want to sell a certain product, there are various AI tools that I can use to increase my reviews. Yeah, I create maybe 100 dummy people, have them write reviews, but using an AI tool. So at the end of the day, it will give my product 5 stars. So someone who is using actual people will be at a disadvantage. But at the end of the day, everyone has to cry for themselves. So you have to use what works for your business. If you're competing with people who are using AI tools to sell their products, you may have to get to a point where you have to use AI tools because you will never be able to compete with these people because their reviews will always be up. Yes, there was a question. Yes, someone raised their hand. Who raised their hand?
Maybe it's a mistake, ma. It is Adiola,
Okay.
but maybe it's a mistake.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, social media has become an integral part of businesses. Yes. People will always want to find out about certain products. People will want to discuss about certain products. So it is good, for example, to even have a blog, have a feedback page where you can be able to communicate with your consumers to understand their needs, to understand if your product is meeting their needs, to understand if they want improvements onto your product, and so that you can be able to create a strong relationship with your consumers. Yeah. When it comes to the reviews, it's also important. But as I said before, Reviews nowadays cannot be taken to be 100% because there's the use of AI tools, yeah, where you use them to be able to get higher reviews, yeah. And it's the same thing that happens with search engine optimization. When it comes to, your website, being able to place your website on top of all other websites. All these things are tools that are used for marketing, yeah? But you have to be able to find a balance so that, one, you do not overdo it. Overdo it, I mean that you don't you don't go over praising your product and you know your product is below par. Don't put too much attention to your product if you're not sure of the quality of your product. Yes? It is always important to use the consumers, get feedback, understand how they feel about the product, and then now capitalize on that. But do not go pushing your product, putting it there as the best product, and you know that your product is below par. Because when you do that, people will lose trust in your product. People, even if you come in with a new product and everything else, people will always be looking at to see who is the manufacturer, and they will always blacklist you. So it is good to be able to, first of all, understand your product, communicate with your consumers, let them give you, real feedback, and then now you can. So there's also the scanning. You know how products nowadays have scanning? I don't know how many of you have come across products that have scanning. Which scanning, I mean, they have a QR code that when you scan it with your phone, you can be able to get more information about that product. Have any of you come across something like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, so that is a
Yes,
way.
ma, especially skin products.
Yes, so that is another way of being able to if you don't have enough space to write about your product, like for example, if it's a container like this and you don't have enough, you don't have enough space to write about all the details about your product, what you can do, you just create a QR code. People will come, they will scan the QR code and they can be able to see, what is there. For example, even when nowadays, even in brochures, when someone gives you a brochure or they give you a business card, they usually give you a business card with a QR code. Yeah, so it's just a blank a black thing with just your name, and then with a QR code. Then now with that QR code, you can scan. You can be able to know about the person. If it's about myself, you know where I went to school, you know what I did, you know which companies I've worked for, blah 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 blah. Chibuike.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma, please, with regards to this making your descriptions scannable, there are some products, especially some medical products, that has something like a code. They will ask you to
Yes.
send a particular code to a particular number to
Yes.
check if that product is genuine and the people
Yes.
that are licensed to distribute it. Can we also say that is also description scannable? Can we grade it to as product design?
Yes, in one way. The reason why I'm saying that is because that is what you have done is for the purposes of credibility. It's the same thing, like, for example, when you buy a phone and they usually give you a code and they tell you to dial this certain number and put in that code to verify if your phone is, one, it is not stolen, two, that your phone is the original product and that it was not, and it's not a counterfeit.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. I assume you agreed on that one. So yes, is it in?
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I just wanted to make to ask a question about the using AI to make reviews if other competitors are using AI to make reviews. I don't know if there is a way, if you can explain a little bit a way on using AI to make review. If maybe there is a website or something.
Okay, so there are various, what is it called? There are various software tools that you can use.
Okay.
Yeah. And mainly they use artificial intelligence. So what it is that I create, what is it called? How do I create? I create like a sample size. Okay. So I say that I have a sample size of 100 people. Yes. And in those 100 people, I want my product to be the top. So what will happen is that tool will create 100 solution, 100 feedbacks. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But it will make sure that in all those feedbacks, 80%, which is 80 people of those 80% of those people, 80 out of, so you see 80% is 80 of 100. So 80 people out of the 100 will give positive feedbacks. Okay, so you just create, you're the one who gets to put the metrics. You say that, okay, I want 100 feedbacks. In those 100 feedbacks, I want 80% of them to be positive, 20 of them to be negative, or maybe 10%, 10 of them to be negative, 10 to be undecided, so that because you are trying to make it look as realistic as possible. And when something is always heavy in positive, 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 and there's not even one single negative thing, that makes it questionable. Okay? Because not everyone can feel the same way about a product. Yeah? So what you do, you create, as I said, you create a sample size, 100 people, 80 of them to feel like this. And even in those 80 people who are going to say positive things, they need to say positive things about different elements of that product. Okay? So basically it could be AI, or you could just create an algorithm. Yeah, the various algorithms that are there to help you create, reviews for your product to make it be able to get onto the top of the market. And the similar algorithms that are also used in search engine optimization. For example, when you go looking for, let's say if it's, my name is Stella, and I want that each and every time someone Googles Stella, that I am the first person that comes up. There are ways to do that. Yeah, there are very many Stellas all over the world. Yeah, but I can create an algorithm, yeah, that I will put, and when it comes now to Google, it will say that each and every, and they charge for these things. Okay, they charge for these things. These things are not free. And each and every time someone Googles Stella Nganga, I am the first person that they will see. If it's Najma, I am the first, I am the one who is going to decide what is going to be seen first. Like even most of these companies, you can see, like, even when you Google for something, and in the first page, some of the things that have been put on the first page are not even relevant to what it is that you want. The reason to that is because people have paid for these things to be put there. Yeah. So that's why, because they want their attention, because they want your attention. So they have paid for it and they have positioned themselves there. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. There was someone else who was asking a question. Is it Adeo?
sir. Yes, but I wanted to add that we can as well do it manually by sending the link, the product link to our friends and family for them to give us review on a particular product that we have.
Yes.
Then I have a question, ma.
Yes.
As a buyer, like how do we identify a good product? After checking the descriptions, and you now check that we are aware that okay, people buy reviews. In fact, they use AI to generate review. So as a buyer, how can I recognize a good product for me to buy online? Because now we know that okay, everybody do reviews, buy reviews, use AI to generate review. So does it mean what you said that everybody have to cry on their own? Does it mean that if I buy the product and it's not good, I have to bear the consequences? Thank you, ma.
So the first thing that we are doing here is in this class, yeah, you're not supposed to be crying for the customer. That is the honest truth, because here you have come here to learn how to be able to market your product. Yes. That does not mean, when I say do not cry for the customer, does not mean that you are not ethical. You need to be ethical, because some of these small things are the ones that eventually, you see, like these people who buy reviews, eventually it comes to a point where people realize that these people are lying. Yes. But you want your product to be there for a lifetime. So what you're doing is you need to choose, as the person who has developed that product, what is the vision of my product? Do I just want my product to just go hit the market? You know, it hits for 2-3 months, and then after 3 months, people hate my product and they don't even want to see my product? Or do I want my product to grow gradually and I end up being the market leader? You know, it all depends on what you, as a person who has created that solution, want for your product. If you have a vision for yourself. Yeah. Some people, their vision is like, let me just put in the product, making as much money as I can be able to make in like 6 months. Once that one is done, I get rid of it, go start another company and do something else. There are people who are like that. There are businesses that are like that. Yeah. And that is their model of business. Yeah. They know why they do it that way, and there are benefits to that, and there are also disadvantages to that. So it all boils down to your vision. Now, when it comes to you as a customer, the reason why you have learned all these things is because these are the things you're supposed to be looking at as a customer. Because all these things that are being done here, they're being done, what we learned last week, what we learned today, all these things are being done to help the customer understand your product more. So since you have learned all these things, now you have more insight. When you go to the supermarket and you look for a product, you will now be able to question. Yeah. When someone tells you this is the best product I have, now because you have the knowledge, you will question. Your product is best on what terms? How is it better than this other one? Have they provided you the proof? You know, are these people serious? And the more effort a company makes in their products, it's usually the better the product. Because as you can see, as you remember last week when we kept on looking at Yaya statements, and we saw that most of the Yaya statements on Jumia were from products from China. Yes? Does anyone remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you see, they're just selling, you know, they already have a market, so they really care less. If you don't buy, someone else will buy. You get? because then they're dealing with mass sales. So it is for you, but companies that are, that are more focused on quality, you can see they take so much time in how they package, in the words that they use, You saw even in the advert of, what is it called, of Emirates. Yeah, you can see even how, the stewardess spoke to the lady. Yeah, and the way these other ones were speaking to her in her dream. You see, people with quality usually have a long-term vision. Yeah, people who care about quantity or mass selling, yeah, they rarely take time on some of these things. Yeah, so when you want when you want something, if you're looking for quality, you know what to look for. If you're looking for just quantity, you know how people with quantity will behave, But so all this information is to help you create a vision for your own company. Yeah, or some of you, not some, okay, some of you may end up getting employed, some of you may decide to start your own businesses, and even if you don't decide to start your own business, some of you may have even side hustles right now. Yeah, it's all based around your vision. What do you want for your company? Yeah, where do you want to be 10 years from now? Where do you want to be 20 years from now? Yeah, if you have a proper and solid vision, a company will come in, they will overtake you, and then it will die. But you will remain there. Let's look at Blueband. How many companies have come up with to selling margarine in Africa? So many of them have come in. So many of them have died. But Blueband has always remained. Yes? Same thing with Coca-Cola. There's so many other companies who have come up with, software drinks. Yeah. Some of them have stayed for a year, 6 years, maybe 10 years, and eventually they've died. Others maybe didn't even make it to 6 months. Yeah, because what they just wanted was, I need to get this money, sell it, get out of this business and do something else. So at the end of the day, it all depends on your vision, what you want for yourself. Yeah. So now, after we have done that, when it comes to product description, you need to set goals and KPIs. And this is what I was saying. The goal of a product description is to move a shopper towards purchase, to make sure that, to entice them to buy your product. But how do you know if your descriptions are working or not? Because you have to know. Because you may be putting descriptions, you yourself, you think, oh, I have the best descriptions. When the customers are looking at them, I'm like, what is this person writing? What is this? They're just wasting my time, or, So you need to be able to know if your descriptions are of quality, if your descriptions are actually, catching the attention of the consumers, if your descriptions are helping you meet your goals, if your descriptions are actually, enticing the buyers to buy your product. You will want to decide on a set of metrics to track on your product pages. So this applies, for example, when you're using e-commerce. Yeah. So it can be used in different ways. So if you're using e-commerce and you're selling things on the website, there are certain metrics. You will see how many people are staying on that page. Yeah. How many people have put that item on the cart? How many of them have bought it? When it comes to supermarket, there are different ways. You can know how many boxes of margarine you sent, to this store. How long has it taken for them to sell them? Yeah, all these things. Defining the metrics will help you understand what product descriptions, if your product descriptions are working, and and how to improve underperforming ones. Okay, so the common KPIs to monitor include the conversion rate, the return rate, support inquiries, organic research rankings, and cart abandonment. So I think we understand what the cart abandonment is. Cart abandonment is when someone has picked up something, they want to buy it, and then they just stopped. Conversion rate, it means that they already bought it. Is that when they how many items have been bought. When it comes to the return rate, is people who bought your product but returned it or asked to be refunded for that product. Support inquiries. Support inquiries refers to questions about your product. Yeah, and organic search rankings. Okay, so conversion rate means if your conversion rate is high, it means you're doing a good job. If there's cart abandonment, there's something that it means that you enticed the person to buy it, but it was not enough to make them make that final decision of actually buying the product. Return rate. Return rate means that they took the product and then they realized that it was not what it was they were looking for, and they want to return it. Support inquiries. Support inquiries means that they bought your product, they were able to, the conversion rate was okay, they were able to buy the product, but your product lacked some additional information on how to use the product. For example, maybe they bought, what is it called? Maybe they bought a bookshelf, yes? But in that bookshelf that they bought, and it was packaged and they received it. But now once they received it, you have not given sufficient information on how to assemble that bookshelf. So now they have the product, but they don't know how to, make that product usable to them because it is lacking one thing or the other, okay? Or maybe it didn't have enough screws, or maybe, they don't have the skills, or maybe they don't know where the screws fall, or maybe you have not, normally it's usually written A, B, C, D, where you're going to put the screws, how you're going to do it, what kind of a spanner you're going to use, if you're going to use a drill, what kind of a drill you're going to use. If you do not give enough information on that, then you're going to have numerous support inquiries. Then there's organic search rankings. This is where, and this requires you to put, what is it called? People searching for your product. For example, this information, you can receive it, as again I said, from people who deal with, search engine, management or marketing, whereby you can be able to see how many times people have searched for Blueband. Yeah. And the reason it's called organic is because people are not going exactly to where it is because they don't know where it is. They're just searching on the web to be able to find out where it is and where they can be able to access it. All these things are, are key performance indicators, which can help you see if you're meeting your goals and can be able to support you in meeting your goals. Okay. So yes, we are done with that. So we are done with product description. Next week, we will be working on other things. Now it is time for questions. We have 15 minutes for questions. Omo.
Please, ma, I don't know if I can just see the slide on the Yaya phrase, ma. Please, ma.
You still want to go back to Yaya? Okay. I will show you.
No, I just need the slide, ma. I just need the slide. Thank you, ma.
Or you want to take a picture? Can you see
Yes,
my
ma.
screen?
Yes, ma.
Can you see my
Not yet,
screen?
ma. Not yet, ma.
And now?
Not yet, ma. I can see your screen now, ma.
Okay, wait. Now you. I'm waiting for other questions, people. You don't have questions today?
Hello, ma. Please, I would like to add to, can we add the rates at which customer return to buy your products to the KPI monitor?
Sorry?
I said, can we add the rates at which a customer that has bought the product return to buy the product, like return customer to the KPI monitor?
There is the screen. Sorry. Yes. Come
Thank
again.
you, ma. I've seen it, ma.
You have seen it. Have you finished?
Yes, captured, ma. Thanks, ma.
Okay. Now let me go back to the. Yes, there was someone who was speaking. Please come again. I didn't get you.
Okay, ma. I said on the KPI monitor, and we also had the return customer rates, like customer that have bought your product, have the experience of your product and return back to purchase the product.
I thought I've already put it there, my dear.
No,
it's
it's
already
not there.
there. Let me check. It is the return rate, my dear. It's called the return rate. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. When you were explaining the return rate, you explained that I got was that, okay, a customer bought your product and was not okay with the product and returned the product. That was the explanation you gave. But now this one is different. Customer has bought the product, has experienced the product, that the product is good, and come back to buy the product.
Those are return customers. You're speaking about return customers.
Return customers, yes, yes.
Yes, so that one is going to become a conversion rate.
Okay.
They are going to increase the conversion rate.
Okay.
If someone is coming back again, that means they're increasing their conversion rate. Have you understood that part?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Because it means that the products are now being bought. Many of them are now being bought. Okay?
Okay, ma.
So there's so number one was Adeola.
Just spoke now, right?
Okay, you just spoke. So number two is Chibuike.
Ma, thanks for the lecture, ma. Ma, I have two questions.
Yes.
Number one, you spoke about cost abandonment. I was trying to ma, can you give us an example of what
I can't hear you. Can you increase your?
Can you hear me now, ma?
You're in a place that is a bit noisy.
It's raining. It's raining. That's why.
Okay. Speak a bit loudly so I can hear you.
Okay, ma. You can hear me now, right, ma?
Yes, I can.
Okay, ma. You spoke about cost abandonment. Can you please give me an example, like just an example for me to understand the concept of cost abandonment. Just a clean example of cost abandonment.
Okay. So I talked about cost abandonment.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure I talked about cost abandonment?
It's cart
Yes,
abandonment.
what you were talking about. Okay, cart. I
It's
thought it's
cart,
called. Sorry,
not-
cart about cart. Yeah,
It's
CRT.
cart
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
cart abandonment.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
one refers to, let me show you. You see, for example, when you go to Jumia and you want to buy something, or even the supermarket, let's say not use Jumia. Let's even go to the supermarket. You've put things into your cart, you're going to go buy them. And then the last minute, when you're just about to buy, you decide no. And this could be as a result of many things. One, maybe you get to pay and then it hits you, oh, I don't have enough money for this, so let me sacrifice this item. Or you could get to the payment and then you think, okay, maybe I don't want to risk buying this product, yeah? And you return it. Or you just leave it there at the cashier. Or maybe you could decide, or maybe I have enough of them at home. Yeah, maybe I'll buy it next week or next month. There are so many reasons that contribute to cart abandonment. It's not one reason. So, and it's very important, to be able to understand why someone abandoned the cart. So, is it that they didn't have enough money on that day? And if they didn't have enough money on that day, the next day, did they buy it? Or the next month, did they come and buy it? Or when they abandoned that item of yours, did they take a similar item and decided that maybe the last minute that your product was not good enough? Or did they just not buy your item and also not buy another item and decided probably they had enough stock and some of these things, you can't know them. You can't know the actual answer because you're not there at the cart. You can't ask these people. Probably what you can do is, send them, if it's an online thing, you can be able to send them a message and ask them, okay, was there a problem? Yeah. You did not complete the transaction. Was there a problem with this product? Is there anything we can help you with? Is there any additional information that you would like? Was it an issue with price? If it was an issue in price, all these things, if they decide to respond to you and they tell you it's an issue of price, maybe you can tell them that you don't have to buy the one for 500 mg. You can buy one for 250 mg and it is affordable, or this and this and this and this and this. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. You have. You justified it, ma.
Okay, let's go to Yemi.
Oh, all right, ma. Thanks for this section. I just want to ask for the full meaning of KPIs because I didn't get that part when you were explaining, ma.
The KPIs. So the KPIs,
yes,
okay, KPIs are key performance indicators.
Okay.
The whole of last week and this week, we learned about product description, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
When you're doing product description, you want to find out if your product description is meeting its goals. Because what was the goal of product description? To be able to entice people to buy your product, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So you want to find out if the tools that you're using for description are working or not, yes?
Okay.
And if they're not working, you find out a way of how to change them, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, to be able to determine if your what is it called? If your description tools are working, you need metrics to measure. You need something to measure your performance, yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So the first way to check is the conversion rate. Conversion rate deals with how many were you able to sell, or how many are you able to sell? How often are you selling them? So for example, in the first week, I was able to sell 10 phones. In the second week, I was able to sell 20 phones. In the third week, I was able to sell 30 or 40 phones. So it means that you are increasing. Your conversion rate is increasing. If in the first week you sold 50, and then in the second week you started selling 30, and then in the third week you're selling 10, it means that your conversion rate is decreasing. So there's an issue somewhere, okay? Then there's also the element of the cart abandonment. How many people are saying that they want to buy the item and then in the last minute they back out? So this could be, for example, they took something on the cart and they were about to buy it and they did not buy it. So is the cart rate increasing or decreasing? If the cart rate is decreasing, it means that you're doing something good. If it's increasing, it means that there's a serious problem you need to address, okay? Then there's a return rate. How many people are returning your products? If the return rate is high, it means you're performing poorly. If your return rate is low, it means you're performing well. Then there's also the fourth one, where you also need to check what is it called. You need, what was it called? What was the fourth one? Someone remind me what the fourth one was. Support inquiries. How many people, how many people are coming to ask questions? How many people are sending out questions about how to use your product? So when people start asking questions, it means you're not giving them support, you're not giving them adequate information. So if your support inquiries increase, it means you're not giving adequate information, because I mean, yes, there will always be a group of people who will not understand things, because we're not all gifted, you know, mentally or educationally, we're not all gifted the same way. Yeah. There's some people, even if you give them all instructions, they will still ask questions. Yeah. And there's some people whom with limited information, they will be able to use the product. But now when it becomes that, you know, there are too many questions that are being asked, it means that now, okay, there's a problem. There are some things that you need not put in the product description that need to be included. Then there's organic search rankings. So now these organic search rankings deal with when someone is just doing an organic search. An organic search is something that you go do on Google or on Bing or on anything, just searching a product. Yeah. Are you being searched a lot? Are you being searched a little? Or are you not being searched at all? All those things have reasons. Yeah. And all these things will now be able to tell you if now my product description is good enough or it is not good enough and I need to make some changes. Okay? Are we good?
Yes, ma. Okay, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
I'm assuming to Zemi. Okay. Now we go to Priska.
Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome.
I wanted to find I'm going to have to draw you back a little bit. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I want to find out the for someone that sells products, local products, like maybe say foodstuffs, fish, things, spices you use to make food and all that. Apart from taking quality picture to post on your social media page or business page, what else can the person do to promote sales?
For someone who is selling maybe spices for food. Maybe cinnamon, maybe.
Or maybe fish,
chilies.
dry fish. Exactly.
There are very many ways, my dear. You take that fish, yeah, you cook it well.
Okay.
You cook it well. Take photos from different angles. Yeah.
Okay.
After you can take photos of the whole fish. Wait, let's wait for my clock. Sorry. You can take photos of the whole fish. Yeah. When it's cooked. Yeah. Because this is where now the imagination of the customer comes in. So you want them to see that fish and automatically they get hungry.
Okay.
So you get that fish, you cook it very well, you put various spices, and then you put it on a plate, then you garnish it. You garnish it with tomatoes, you garnish it with onions, you garnish it with parsley, you garnish it with cucumbers, whatever it is that you need to garnish it with. Yeah?
Okay.
That is one way. The other way is, and then you take photos from different angles. And then you can also take the photo of someone eating it.
Okay.
And you show how much they are enjoying it, how they have closed their eyes. They can't even, they're just closing their eyes because it's so sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all, as I said, all this has to do with you getting into the brain of the customer. So that when they see that even at night, when they dream, they will dream about that fish and how they want to buy that fish. And that immediately they get money, that is the first item they will run to. They'll even forget that they have bills to pay. And they will run to buy that fish.
Okay.
Yes. So that
thank
is,
you, ma.
so those are some of the ways. You know, some things like fish, let's say cooked food, all those you can't have such things as the writing a lot of stuff doesn't help.
Yes.
Yeah? So this one use visual elements. Yeah.
Okay.
Use visual elements. Take those photos, take those, use all those videos that you can be able to take, and you can even show them as you cook it. Yeah. Takes different snapshots of, okay, let me show you something. So of cooking oil. Let me get it. Look for it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma, I can. I can see it, ma.
I hope you've gotten the point on that one. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am, I have. Thank you so much. I have, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. Miriam has a question.
Yeah. I need some clarification on the return rate because I think I'm having two interpretations.
Wait, I can't hear you. I think I've not switched off this. Sorry. Miriam, please come again. My apologies.
It's okay. So I wanted to get some clarification on return rate because I'm having two interpretations. So one is how often customers do return to your site, maybe to buy products. And the other one is how often customers return your products. So that is my own understanding. So which is which? Which is the correct one in this case?
So the one I'm talking about is what is it called? Them returning.
The customers returning or the customer returning the products?
Your customers returning your products.
Okay, okay. Okay, understood. Thank you.
Any questions, more questions? Is everyone okay? So that Miriam, your hand is still up.
No.
Is there any more questions before we put an end to it today? Let me check the chat if there are any questions. Suleiman?
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am, can you help me with the slides, today's slides?
You see, remember what I said? Okay, can you take screenshots?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let me start from, give you screenshots. I said I will give you all of them once I finish the product because it's something we will continue. Eh? So it starts here. Tell me when you're done. I go to the next one. Or I'm not sharing my screen.
Yes.
Anyone else who wants to take them can take the images now. So you started there. When you're done, tell me I move to the next one.
You can move, ma'am, to the next one.
But don't worry, once I finish this whole thing of product, I will forward the whole of it. Can I continue?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can continue, ma'am.
I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Is there any other questions? Mr. Adet, is there anything you would like to, before I close it up?
No, ma.
Okay. So we have now finished with product. We finished product design. Now we have finished product description. So next week we will start working on something else. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Next week we will do product analysis. Okay. And then we also have the product life cycle we've not done. And yeah. And then we'll do product management as well. Those will be in the following weeks. Okay.
Okay.
All right, now.
Thank you, Adam.